What up, nerds? And welcome to another super bad episode of Straight Chilling, the weekly horror movie review show where you chill and we kill, slice, dice, and chop up yet another horror movie. My name is Bob. I'll be your host for the evening. This is episode number 539, recorded on Sunday, August 3rd, 2025. Tonight, we're talking about another Patreon pick. This was chosen by ya boy Gabriel. The movie is Chronicle from 2012. Before we get into it, let me introduce everyone else on the show tonight. First up, calling in from Washington, D.C., we got your boy, Rand Diesel. What's up?
And get jiggy with it.
What's going on, buddy? Ready to get jiggy with that?
Spoken like a true apex predator.
All day, baby.
All day.
God.
All day. Yes, chef. Yes.
Oh.
Apex and
God, it felt bad saying that out loud. It sounded too unironic. I would like it to emphasize the irony, please.
Far too believable to hear those words come from your boy Rand Diesel. Last but not least, calling in from Seoul, South Korea, we got Shaboy Soju. What's up?
Oh, what up? It's your boy, Super Stains. Got that superhuman endurance, boys. I just keep going.
Gross.
Wait a minute. You're not talking about superpowers. Hold on. You're talking about that other thing.
The hunka chunka.
Uncle Chunk.
That's what we call it around these parts.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, babe, you in the mood for some hunka chunka?
That's just a new flavor of ice cream. That's what we're asking.
It's a Ben and Jerry. It's a pint of Ben and Jerry.
Ice cream in a movie.
Double P? Okay, damn.
Double P. All right.
Ben and Jerry, huh?
We'll just sit on that for a second. We're talking about Chronicle. Like I said, big thanks to Gabriel for picking this week's flick. We do appreciate it. Before we get into the review, though, let's tackle some housekeeping real quick. So we got a new month on our hands. That means we got a poll ended and a brand new poll open. So the August poll is concluded. Orca did end up taking that spot, so we'll be reviewing Orca in the next couple weeks here. Our September poll is currently posted over on our Patreon website. The theme for September is War on Satan. You got three movies to vote between, and they are Black Sabbath, Needful Things, and Trick or Treat.
I was a motherfucking liar, so you know I ain't worried, biatch.
I ain't worried, biatch.
It's the first week of August, and football is back.
The boys back in town.
Autumn is heading our way. How are those numbers looking?
Well, they're looking pretty good. I do want to clarify, Black Sabbath is the choice.
What?
I typed Black Sunday on the poll.
Did you write in Demon Night?
No.
God damn it, Rob. Every time.
People on the Slack were, saying sabotage potentially. I didn't want to put those words out there, but everyone on the Slack is saying it.
Saboteur Bob over here.
Mm-hmm. I didn't realize it was this movie.
Hey, if you guys want to post the polls, go right ahead. But yeah, Black Sabbath.
Bob, to punish you, I'm going to make you keep posting the polls all by yourself.
That'll teach you a lesson.
Interesting. Wow.
So, yeah, I tried to go in and edit it, and the way Patreon is set up, you can't. I would just have to delete the entire poll and repost it, which means it would get rid of everybody who's already voted, so I didn't want to do that. So, yeah, Black Sabbath is sitting at a solid goose egg right now, so...
Bob, that's probably because of the sabotage.
It's probably my fault. Saboteur Bob.
All y'all. It is a sabotage.
Listen, Randy, killing it with your topical references. Second place, Needful Things, sitting at 36% of the vote. And Saboteur Bob just killing it with the Trick or Treat. First place, 64%.
Wow, that's so weird how that turned out.
I blame
That's
Satan.
weird that the results are, coming in that way.
Let's not besmirch the good.
Gonna have to give you some extra punishment, Bob.
Oh no!
Oh, there's a new daddy in town, a disciplined daddy.
Somebody teach me a lesson. Oh God! Yes, there's a war on Satan. We're putting Satan back in September, right where he belongs, right where he needs to be. Putting Satan back in Samhain. We won't stand for this nonsense.
Samhain.
My boy Sam Hain.
Stand up for Satan. Hashtag stand with Satan. Hey, get those votes in. You got a long time. So go ahead and do that. And we'll see what we're talking about this September. We're dropping mini casts every other Friday over on Patreon as well. We just dropped one last Friday on Jurassic World Rebirth. That's your boy me talking about that one.
Your boy me.
Your boy me. Your boy I. And, you'll just have to tune in to hear what I think about it. It's
that our correspondent from China, our boy me.
Me. Me off. Yes. Tune in. Give that a listen. Next up, we're going to be dropping some kind of different, actually. Your boy Soju and myself are talking about the best horror movies released of the decade so far. So,
whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, she's a fancy flapjack.
She is.
No, top 25 list there.
Yeah. We each made a list of 25 movies that have been released since the year 2020 up till now. And we talked about all those, ran down our list, talked about some sort of themes and like common tropes that seem to be taking
we picked up on some as we went through our list. And we're like, hey, didn't really notice that before.
Yeah, there's some shit happening, and we talk about it. And that's going to be dropping Friday, August 15th over on Patreon. A bit of not really a mini cast, honestly. It's like just a tad over an hour, so it's just a podcast, basically. But check that out. Dropping August 15th. Also, I want to give a big thanks to everybody that hung out this past Friday for our Joe Bob Watch Party. He showed a couple aquatic films. The first one was the original Piranha. Second one was Crocodile, which I did not stay up for because damn.
Oh, Bob, that's the good one though, isn't it?
I probably prefer it to Piranha, yeah. So, between those two, yeah.
Oh, alligator is what I was thinking though.
Yeah, I was thinking
actually the alligator was what I was thinking.
Yeah, gator in the water, you be in the boat, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
Last thing I've got, at the time of you listening to this podcast, we will have just released a brand new episode of Let's Get Physical Media. Your boy Mikey and myself are talking about our July pickups. So if you're interested in collecting Blu-rays, 4Ks, DVDs, any of that stuff, check out Let's Get Physical Media everywhere you get your podcasts.
Please, pay attention to Bob so he can justify all these purchases. That's important.
Yes. Enable
he has to keep the podcast going. That's the only reason he's buying them at this point, He's got to have something to talk about.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
I just feel like the shelves get closer every episode, just a little bit closer.
He's just putting new shelves in front of the old shelves.
Yeah, he does that thing with the big crank where you wheel them away, like in an archive.
Kind of spins out.
Oh, yeah.
These shelves are like 4
the Criterion Closet wishes.
Bob, you're going to run out of room soon. What are you going to do? Have you thought of a solution?
No.
Do you have a solution?
Have you thought about getting a high-paying job and then buying $1 million home that you can cram?
I don't know if that's for
I'm really curious about what you've been thinking about for the next phase of the Blue Room. I just don't really know what you could do.
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those Blu-ray bins? And it gets worse, he'll have no jet ski, wasting all his dough on those DVDs.
I'm thinking climate-controlled attic, and then maybe also putting in a basement.
Okay.
Bob, one of those famous Florida basements. Okay.
Real quick, we can move on after this, but at this point in time, right now, has the blues or has the media started to spill out into any other rooms, or is it still isolated to the blue room?
No, it's still it's all contained in this.
We're in the blue. All right, we're gonna track this movement. I'm gonna ask you honestly every now and then, and just see how we progress.
We're treating that office much like they treat the ghost compactor in Ghostbusters. You really got to watch this fucking thing, so there's no escapes.
They just never empty it out, and then you got giant marshmallow mans in the street.
That's what you get.
That's what you get. That's all I got. You guys have anything else you want to plug?
No, my house is clean this week.
All right.
Squeaky.
His house is clean.
Let's get into the main event. We're talking about Chronicle, and we're kicking it off with the back of the box.
What's on the back of the box?
Bob, I saw you had this box. You held it up there. Did you buy it for this? Did you buy it for this show?
No, I've had this for a while.
Just unwrapped it, huh?
No, it's been unwrapped. I actually think Mikey
just gave it its second look, huh?
I think Mikey had like multiple copies of this and just gave this to me or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, okay. That's what we'll say on the audit, Bob.
This was a freebie, you know.
I didn't know that you got interest on Blu-ray purchases.
Yeah.
Damn.
So, yeah, you can buy this on Blu-ray. You can rent it. You can stream it, I believe, on Max or HBO Max, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah, luckily it was on my Disney Plus. Woo!
Disney Plus. Woo. You can check it out. Anyway, yeah, this is rated PG-13, which is interesting, actually. I kind of thought it would have made an R rating, but this is PG-13 from 2012, runtime of an hour and 24 minutes. This was directed by Josh Trank, written by Max Landis and Josh Trank. Stars Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, Alex Russell, a handful of other lovely folks. Plot synopsis brought to you by IMDb is as follows. 3 high school friends gain superpowers after making an incredible discovery underground. Soon they find their lives spinning out of control and their bond tested as they embrace their darker sides. Gentlemen.
We're just normal men.
My normal mangs. Have we seen this movie before, and would you recommend folks at home check it out? Rand Diesel, kick us off.
Sure thing. So yes, I have seen this before. Might have seen it twice, but I know I've seen it at least the once. I know for sure that I did not see it in theaters. I saw it after the fact because I kind of had to be convinced by some people that really loved this movie to finally make the plunge on it. Because it just didn't super interest me, which is interesting because it is a found footage film and we know I have a proclivity towards that. Do I recommend it? Yeah, I think so. I think that for its PG-13 rating, it does not feel like that most of the time. It feels just like a relatively compelling story. I would suggest, maybe not pay for this, as Bob hasn't, mainly because of some of the people involved. But Max Landis is not particularly good dude.
Yeah, I think he's the Cooter of the week. Yeah.
Yeah. So, that aside, though, I would generally recommend it on its own merits.
Cool. Juice, what about you?
Yeah, I had seen this before in the theaters, I believe. I was probably around 13 at the time. And at that time, I really enjoyed it. Superhero movies were a thing, but not as much as now. I thought, let's see, 2012, that's like when the first Guardians of the Galaxy came out. So they had kind of moved through their first phase of Marvel, I guess.
Damn, was it already past Avengers at that point or no?
I don't think
Actually,
so.
Avengers came out 2012 too. I think Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy both came out in 2012, which is the same year this movie came. So it was like right when they were
kind of rode the crest then.
Yeah, it was kind of, which at the time, was it was all these Marvel movies, all bright, comic booky and stuff, and this was like dark and like gritty, and then they kind of moved into that next phase, which didn't really work out too well. But I would give this, I think, a medium to loose, mostly just because at this point now we've become so oversaturated with superhero stuff that you have television shows like The Boys that does a lot of kind of stuff like this, and we've had so many movies and so many Netflix shows and so many Disney shows and everything that it's just like it's hard to go in this with like a fresh take now. It's very much kind of like a product of its time, and some of the effects live in that time. And so, but I do think it's a pretty interesting, compelling story. It's just you kind of have to get through all that now where we're at in 2025. So I would say medium to loose. Bob, how about you? Would you recommend people check this out?
Yeah, I kind of would echo everything you just said, really. I think when this came out, it was probably way more compelling. I think it's still a decent movie, a decent watch, but it doesn't hit quite as hard because we're just so inundated with horror, or not straight up like horror superhero movies, but like we have seen them. Like Brightburn has come out, and like you said, The Boys is a series that does a lot of this stuff. So we like
got that Werewolf by Night or whatever.
That too, flawed superhero, anti-hero,
like the Watchmen of it all.
Yeah. We've seen a lot of stuff like this, so that's not necessarily a knock on this movie, but I think it just might temper your expectations, I guess, when you go into watching it and take in the context around the time this movie was released.
It's crazy.
It kind of benefits. I'm sorry.
I was going to say Brightburn came out like 6 or 7 years after this, which just shows you how long this run of superhero stuff has been.
Yeah. And I think to me, it makes it more palatable. Like I guess I just don't really think of this as a superhero movie so much as I think about it as like I don't know, like it's like a sci-fi movie, more than anything else, with characters that are very much like, there are some character traits here that you don't see in a lot of superhero movies. So I do think that it runs adjacent to, but not necessarily alongside superheroes.
Yeah. So that that's pretty much like a medium to loose recommendation from the Straight Chillin' crew. Who would have thought?
Knew?
A legit medium to loose.
Legit, not a bullshit one. So we're going to be spoiling the shit out of Chronicle, and here comes your warning.
Spoiler warning.
All right, Bob, you got that plot synopsis?
I got it. Just for you. All ready to go.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. The plot of Chronicle. Here we go. In Seattle, we see our main character, high schooler Andrew Detmer, get bullied. His mother's very sick and his family's in medical debt. His abusive, alcoholic father is an out-of-work firefighter who sustained an injury on the job. Andrew's only friend seems to be his cousin Matt. Andrew decides to buy a camera and start a video diary of sorts. At a party, the extremely charismatic and popular Steve finds Andrew and tells him to bring his camera with him. Steve and Matt have found a strange hole in the ground and they want him to film it. They go down inside the tunnel and they find a large glowing crystal object thing emitting weird noises. The camera starts freaking out and it shuts off. We don't see exactly what happens while they're in the tunnel. Andrew goes and buys a new camera, and when he fires it up, we see the 3 high school kids now have telekinetic abilities. They return to the hole, but it's been sealed off by the police. The kids then start using their abilities to prank friends and strangers. Andrew takes it a little bit too far when he pushes a truck off the road into a lake. The driver almost drowns, but Steve jumps in and saves him. Matt says they need to institute some rules. 1, they can't ever use their powers on living things. 2, never use powers when you're angry. And 3, never use the powers out in the open. Steve then discovers they can fly. They all agree to fly around the world after graduation. Steve then convinces Andrew to join the talent show and do some magic tricks with him. They put on one hell of a show, and Andrew starts to enjoy some newfound popularity. At a house party, Andrew is about to get laid, but he pukes on himself, causing much embarrassment and razzing from his classmates. little bit of the hunka chunka. Andrew's dad finds his new camera and is enraged. He calls Andrew selfish for not spending the money on medication for his mom and tries to hit him. Andrew uses his powers and whoops his dad's ass. Andrew flies up into a thunderstorm and has a little bit of a cry. Steve can sense something's wrong. He flies up to meet Andrew and they get into an argument. When Steve refuses to leave, Andrew loses control and strikes Steve down with a bolt of lightning, killing him. They have a funeral for Steve and Matt confronts Andrew about what's happened. He knows Andrew is responsible for his death. Andrew begins identifying as an apex predator. He rips out Bully's teeth.
You know that I'm the cream of the crop.
Andrew's the motherfucking cream, ripping out Bully's teeth at school with his telepathy. Matt confronts Andrew again about abusing his powers, and Andrew says, "Motherfucker, I'm stronger than you, bitch. Do something." And he can't because he really is strong.
I'm the biggest star here, man. That's the way it is.
That's the way. Desperate to pay for his mother's medicine, Andrew robs some dudes hanging out at a park, and then he robs a gas station, accidentally causing an explosion, landing him in the hospital. His dad visits him and says his mother died the night prior while he was out looking for Andrew's ass. Because Andrew ran off, his dad now blames him for his mother's death. Andrew gets really pissed off and blows the side of the wall out of the hospital. He ends up dropping his dad from several stories. Luckily, though, Matt sensed Andrew's anger, gets a nosebleed. He saw the explosion on the news. He drives him and his girlfriend over to the hospital and catches Andrew's dad before he hits the ground. Andrew becomes enraged and destroys downtown. He picks up the car Matt and his girlfriend are in and drops it on the Space Needle. Matt and Andrew have an all-out battle, and Matt eventually realizes Andrew is beyond saving and impales his ass with a huge stone spear from a nearby statue. Matt then flies off and leaves Andrew's camera in Tibet, which is where he always dreamed about going. He tells the camera that he's going to use his powers for good and find out exactly what happened to them down in that cave. He loves Andrew, and he never really thought he was a bad person. Roll credits.
All right.
There you go.
Boys, if we had superpowers, what do you think? How do you think that all turn out?
I guess you guys would be kneeling at my feet about now, huh?
I'm a Sigmund predator, so I'd just fuck off somewhere, probably. It'd work out.
I don't know.
It'd all work out just fine.
Just starting off just with what was plainly obvious to me, of course, the incel hunter. This is very much an incel movie. This is got quite a bit of incel coding going on here. This is, in fact, very... I thought there was a lot of similarities between this and the Joaquin Phoenix Joker movie, which I saw a couple years ago. Like, just in terms of like watching how somebody, like, kind of the moral of this is like, don't treat people poorly because if they ever get a power, they might, turn on you. That's at least one angle of it, and that's how you create a monster or whatever. You have somebody that is given very little opportunity to, shine or to be normal, and because of abusive situations in their lives, and then they get a little bit of power and they want to abuse that because they've been neglected power their whole lives. So that's definitely a heavy thing going on in this, because that's basically Andrew's entire arc.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just felt like I wanted to call that out right away because it was permeating my thinking throughout the entirety of the movie.
Damn. Yeah, you got that.
But I don't think as opposed to like the Joker, though, he obviously is not painted in a particularly positive light. I mean, he has some like understanding about maybe why he does some things, but yeah, I don't think it's ever treated in a way of like, ooh, that's so badass, or like, ooh, standing up for himself against his dad. But everything else, I feel like it's not treated in the same way. Like, people are like, oh, Joker's right, or he really.
Oh yeah, no, it's not so much. But like they create enough sympathy for this character, rightfully so. I mean, it's not unearned or whatever, but like it's just like that arc of the end result of this kind of treatment is somebody who's warped and twisted, which is not always the case. People go through a lot of hell and come out the other side perfectly normal and genial people. Every day that happens.
Yeah. I think Dane DeHaan does a really great job with this role. There's something about him, and I don't know, was he also in Spider-Man? Was he the?
He was in that. He was the Green Goblin in that like second Spider-Man that never. They didn't even bring his ass back for the for the Marvel crossover thing they did.
He plays like a smarmy villain character, like really, really well. I thought he did a great job in this movie. Really, everybody does.
I guess he was in Oppenheimer too. I didn't realize. I was just trying to see like where everybody's kind of at now. Oh, he had Cure for Wellness. He was in A Cure for Wellness. I forgot about that.
I recognize him from. I was like, I know this guy from something, and it's none of those things. But you're right.
Michael B. Jordan and
of course.
His cousin too, like the three of them, the chemistry between the three of them when they're not necessarily like super close, and they get these powers and they have something in common, and like seeing them do exactly what high schoolers would do, like start pranking people, like they move that lady's car, they start throwing baseballs at each other's faces and stopping them, they throw the football in the sky, and like they do, so all build Legos with their minds, like all that stuff, they're like bonding. I thought really worked. The first half of this movie, I think, or maybe even first 2/3 are really, really strong. I think whenever Michael B. Jordan is taken out of the movie and like that dynamic stops, the movie, for me, feels like it kind of slows down a touch. And then when they get to the climax, it's like, well, here's a superhero movie, and like it completely changes like in vibe. Which I didn't necessarily love. Did you guys feel that? Yeah,
I thought the middle part stretched a little too long. This time around, I was like, yeah, this is a little thin, because now I thought it was, it did work well, especially like later because it's really like you said, given Michael B. Jordan time to shine and kind of like give you somebody to like really, really care about, because Michael B. Jordan is the best here, in my opinion. And he's such a good dude of having the magic show and him giving him some clothes and including him and having them talk about like traveling the world and like starting to kind of like give him a little shit, and that's the kind of the problem too is he's like, he has no brothers or whatever. He's like completely isolated and he doesn't even know like regular social dynamics. So even just Steve kind of giving him like a little razz, it like sets him off sometimes, like when they're talking about like going to Tibet and he's like trying to tease him. He's like, I don't know, Andrew, there's no like bikinis in Tibet or whatever. It just like Andrew just like doesn't get it. He's just so serious all the time. So I think that helps build up Andrew's character as well. But yeah, it is very endearing to have this Steve character as well.
Well, I mean, like the Andrew's character that's such incel energy to be like hypersensitive about minor slights. When you feel like you're being ingratiated into a group of people or whatever, and then they start giving you a little bit of shit, which is what like friends do. We give each other shit clearly all the time. And yeah,
I don't think I ever give you guys shit.
Most lies. No, I'm only ever very loving and dole out nothing but compliments and love. No,
I just really support you guys, put you up on a pedestal,
I'm a really humble motherfucker when you think about it.
With a huge dick.
That's the one. So I don't know, like it's just like the hypersensitivity because he's not he's used to people dogging on him in a way that's not friendly, and so that permeates the way he reacts to that sort of thing. Even though Steve is nothing but like the most genial fucking dude in the world to him, to a fault, I would say, almost like he's pretty fucking patient with this kid. At least like towards the beginning, it's like very, very genial and good. But like even when he's like having that argument and he's about to get struck by lightning, he's like, dude, what are you talking about? We're like friends. What are you like getting on my ass about? Like, let me talk to me. We can have a conversation. And then he gets struck down. So I don't know. I do think that Michael B. Jordan is the strongest actor out of the bunch here. I actually kind of think like, I don't remember his name, but the cousin character is pretty like comparatively operating on a weaker level.
Yeah, I'd agree.
And his arc is they try and make it happen, but it doesn't quite land for me the way that Anders does.
Matt
and Steve is really a means to an end ultimately.
Yeah.
Story wise,
that moment, I kind of like Matt in certain instances, really, where he's like always trying to reference philosophers to make him seem like deeper and more thoughtful than he really is. But then he has that really bizarre moment where he goes over to the girl Casey's house and knocks on her door just to tell her that he's cool. And it's like such an awkward moment. I like don't even really know what to take from that scene, and they end up just like dating, I guess. Anyways, it's just like very awkward.
I thought that was weird, but I feel like it's like trying to point at, like, I think the movie is trying to show us that he isn't just doing it, or he's at least learned not to just mention Carl Jung in conversation for the social points of it. He seems to be trying to like better himself in some way, and that's what he's trying to communicate, but he's an idiot kid. So like I can kind of get that. And I can, maybe she gets that, and she's like sees that he's like making a legitimate effort even if he's fucking it up, and like I kind of see all that stuff. I just don't know that it necessarily is necessarily all that strong in comparison. Like that's his arc to becoming like the hero out of the supervillain complex at the end. If the end point is him being fucking Superman, I don't know that he's fully earned that by the end.
No, I don't
no.
think
And it honestly would have been like almost better if like if it was kind of flipped and he accidentally killed his cousin and Steve was the one who was left who had to kind of deal with Andrew. Well, except everybody loves Steve, but it just I feel like they could have made that like the cousin character stronger in a way that helped kind of everybody, because he is trying to like help out Andrew a little bit, and Andrew like kind of looks up to him, but Andrew's like so far down that he can't see that he's just like a couple years older, and he's also kind of like an awkward kid too, but just not in a but not in a like negative way. I mean, but not in the way that like Andrew is, where he, gets antisocial and like really antsy and, just lashes out at people and stuff like that. Like he can take his licks, but so I don't know. I feel like they could have like built that up a little bit more or better to kind of draw some parallels between them so when he says things like, oh, you can't hurt people or whatever, it like maybe makes a difference, or I don't know, or just I feel like his character was a little underdeveloped, and him showing up, I mean, it really was just to give him some kind of like, oh, I realize the error of my ways, or like, I'm growing and I can kind of take some shit and learn from it and better myself, and like it's supposed to act as a kind of way to separate him from Andrew to make Andrew's past seem worse and his seem better. But it's just strong, awkwardly done, because I think too, if I remember that was the first change in point of view. They do it a lot more later when we're going like to the hospital cams and the security cams at the at the gas station and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure that was the first change like to her blog camera that she carries around that I remember.
Who edited all that shit together? They really had to get a lot of stuff.
You always think about that. I never think about that.
I do.
Never
I
think
do
of some
in
person
movies where
sitting
I feel
in
like
an editing room.
I do, but like it doesn't make or break the movie necessarily for me unless it's really, really pivotal to things, and it's not here. It's ultimately like it's just a way of getting the story across, and I think it works really reasonably well. Until it's like not until, but like I think it works reasonably well to get things started, and then once like it becomes Andrew's just floating a fucking track cam everywhere he goes or whatever, like a drone, like it's sort of like it almost becomes too cinematic, but it is well justified that could happen in this situation, I guess.
It feels.
I guess I'm a little split on that in general.
It just feels like it's not a found footage movie anymore, because you have this omniscient camera that can move anywhere at any point in time. So it just like kind of abandons that, which I like the more grounded feel of like these high schoolers, with a handy cam filming themselves do neat tricks, and then it gets out of control. And like, I really like that vibe, but when it becomes just kind of like ultimately a lesser good Marvel movie in the climax, I was like, I don't know. It lost kind of that interesting sort of like mesh of horror found footage and superhero. to me.
It definitely lost that. I mean, they tried to keep it going by like having different cameras, like different people's cameras, like filming the carnage once it became like a big event downtown or whatever. Like all that stuff. Like, it's not that they don't justify it or what. It's just that it doesn't, like, the big draw of found footage for me is the immersion of it, and that gets lost. And so I guess that's
totally
what we're keying in on here.
The immersion blender of it all.
Yeah. So that loses.
But there's some cool scenes. I think most of the CGI holds up here. When they're like flying and what was it? Does Andrew get hit by the plane, or I forget who?
No, it's Steve. Steve gets hit and Andrew saves him, which makes him even closer because he's like, oh my God, you saved my life.
That was a really cool moment. I like that quite a bit. Them getting picked up in the car and dropped on the Space Needle. Like most of that still holds up pretty well. And it's like a pretty ambitious, I think, to do all that kind of stuff in this movie. I don't know what the budget was for this, but like,
it's a little rough now. It's a little rough. The Legos, the Pringles. I think it's better when it's like farther away. Like when they did the two scenes that are similar, but like the Pringles and Legos looked really rough and bad.
That dude fit like 12 Pringles in his mouth at once, which was kind of amazing.
But when they do the magic show and the camera is much further away, the cards don't look so bad. It still kind of looks janky, but it looks better further away. Yeah, but I mean, I think he makes good choices, like when you switch to different cameras toward the end where they're floating, but the camera is somebody on the ground or something. They're like way up in the sky. That's where you need those things to work. Or like kind of when Andrew attacks those guys and the kind of camera is back, and so you just really see somebody go flying, or you see him end up in front of you and the blood is kind of spattered on the asphalt or whatever. Like that's better, I think. Or the teeth, like letting your imagination run, like, oh, he just jumps out and something goes, and then you have a scene where he's like, oh, I ripped out his teeth. You're like, oh fuck, like those kind of things work the best,
I would agree.
Like, but then there's like, I think honestly, it comes down to me about like the effectiveness of what they're portraying so much more than like the aesthetic of it. Like when he fucks with that spider, that even though that does not look real at all, it's very effective to tell me where he's at. Like
I actually went
very effective scene.
Like when I was watching, it's like the legs. Yeah, you're right. That was an effective, like, God damn, man, that's fucked up.
Yeah.
He's an apex predator.
You just kind of got to meet the movie where it's at a little bit. And I think that when you do, you do get nice moments like that. And a few moments that are just kind of like, they're not meant to carry that much weight. So they ultimately seem a little cheesier, like the Pringles, like the Legos. It's like, okay, yeah, that's a little silly, but yeah, like honestly, with the Legos thing, the thing that was bothering me, and this is like just getting right down into nitty gritty fucking hair splitting.
Here we go.
But it's like, well, it was just like how quickly he like designed
mastered.
Yeah, he like put all like 36 pieces in place at once, and then put them all together. But they were like, he had to know where he wanted all those to go very fucking quickly, and it's like those are decisions that you make as you go, one at a time, and he's doing them all at once. That's not a byproduct of ESP. I'm sorry, telekinesis. That's something else entirely. So it just feels like things like that can stick in my craw a little bit because it's not that heavy of a moment.
Well, also too, there was like the good, when Steve moves the car. That's that's not hard to do from an effect. Like the car is real, or it looks real. So they could have balanced it a little better, but also too product of the time. But I think it hurts it ultimately because later on, we still have so many things that are like still trying to do this, but it just looks better and it looks better and it looks better. And so by that time you're like, well, this like really starts to take me out of the movie.
Well, I don't know.
Which is, I mean, not their fault at the time, but
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
I think they did for the time. I think it looks really great. I will say
Yeah.
that. Like, I think that if I was in theaters or whatever, I would be like pretty impressed with what they've done with it. I think that like the issue is that like it goes full like Goku Vegeta at the end, where like they're like flying through buildings and shit, and like all of that groundedness that they spent so much time building up. Like, I understand that this is the big, like conceptually, I understand it, but it kind of hurts again with the immersion aspect, and so like my emotional connection to what's on screen starts to lose as as it amplifies the physical effects. So I don't know. I think that I really think that the ideal spot of effects and violence and all that stuff and like battles was when he was like taking out those dudes in his neighborhood and stealing their money. Like, I think that was kind of like the nicest balance of that sort of thing. Having them like straight up like fly through buildings, knock each other, crater into the ground, all that shit. Like, it's just a little bit too lofty from where they started.
Yeah, it jumps the shark.
It just, yeah.
I think
a little bit, yeah.
I think it totally does. It also like it all goes. It starts so like so small, so like humble, and then it kind of has this like crazy ramp up effect in the last like 20 minutes where it's sort of like gradually building, and then like that crescendo.
They learned to fly. What, like more than
One
halfway
day.
through, like 45 minutes in, something like that.
Yeah.
Something
Maybe
like that.
beginning of the third act, something like that.
It just like takes this crazy like jump in tone and action, and also I think in like Andrew's evilness. Like it felt it felt like he went from like just kind of a fucked up kid to like this
maladjusted.
Yeah, to like this super evil, like through and through evil being, and I was like, that just doesn't make a ton of sense. And it's not very
evil.
It's not like super satisfying either, because you're like, it's way more interesting if he's like, you know, got some sort of internal confliction, or like, you know, he's just like evil. He's just,
the thing is, like, I see scenes like the scene where he kills Steve, like that, like I understand why that needs to happen to catalyze the third act and like create the schism that exists and all that stuff. But it really feels like the bond was strong enough at that point. I feel they portrayed the bond that he and Steve and Matt, that they all had together, as strong enough at that point for him to be able to confide in his friend a little bit. You know what I mean? Like when his friend came in and like at the party and he had puked on his jacket, I was like, oh man, it's all good, man. This shit happens, you know? And like, I understand being upset or whatever, but I just felt like there was enough, like, I don't think that the amount of damage we saw him have at the beginning, I think a lot of that has worn down because they've grown to like care about each other. And it seems like that's not in the mix. Like he's just like falling backwards, which I guess makes sense, but it just...
I agree. I think it would almost been kind of better if he had this descent too, where I think it should have been more clear that it was completely accidental that he kills Steve, maybe as a result of other people. So as we see, even though Steve is supporting him, other people in school are still teasing him like, oh, you threw up on your jacket, right? And if that's where, or maybe he even had like, so if the source of his anger or his frustration comes from that, and in that he's unable to control his powers completely and accidentally kills Steve and then spirals more because of that, and then it just
Matt accuses him, like,
and instead of instead of having this, it's ridiculous for them to fly through buildings, because like they don't have super strength. Like how can you fly into the, I know they talk about having a barrier around like them, but they have to create the barrier with their mind. So it's like you're flying into the concrete, and his cousin is like kind of shit at all this stuff. So it should have been more things like, you know what, it's pretty easy to make lightning and stuff convincing. If there was more stuff like that, where like he's controlling the weather now at this point, he's like causing lightning strikes to come down and like hit buildings, like that's more believable. Don't fly into the concrete. That was kind of dumb to me. I like flying through the buildings. That's just, you know what it made me think of? was kind of like the opposite end of what is it? What's that movie called? Glass Mang, with Mr. Split. What's his,
Unbreakable? Glass?
Yeah, Unbreakable. Yeah, is it called Glass?
The third movie, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Made me think of Glass, where you have these people with powers and they tease some big showdown and then they just kind of scuffle on the lawn. And then you have this where it's like, well,
they need a medium.
Yeah, you need a good medium. No loose. You just need a good medium in between this and Glass Mang, because like that's what it just kept made me think of. I was like, okay, well, at least this is a little bit more entertaining than that
this
movie.
Is definitely better than Glass, because Unbreakable kind of has that same thing too, like where the superpowers are there, but they are more grounded throughout. Like there is no like massive thing or whatever. So like, but it works in Unbreakable because of the way that it's portrayed, because it's like about discovering what this movie is actually about. Like this movie, like I don't really see it as much of a superhero movie, but it clearly is to most people. So like I think people go in with an expectation that it's going to be on some level pretty bombastic. Well, and I kind of respect the idea that like, yeah, we want to get them to this point. Like we want to see how somebody gets to this point with one of their best friends after they get superpowers. We want to see how Dr. Doom and Mr. Fantastic fall out. You know what I mean?
Sure,
like,
yeah.
I get that. It's just not sold perfectly for my tastes, especially because it's so interested by way of found footage of being grounded for so long, and then that just sort of starts to fall apart.
Yeah.
I mean, it hits all the beats of a regular, origin story of, this is where I got my powers. This is how I learned how to develop my powers. This is what my powers are by showing you how I practice my powers. And then, and then I start to try to use my powers to affect my life, or what, which that was a little bit of a jump to it. Like the kind of person they try to paint Andrew as, and especially at the very beginning, it's all about like, oh, we don't have the money for my mom's medicine, stuff like that. And he's able to easily pick up 52 cards in perfect order with his mind. It's like this dude never thought to carefully rob a place. Like he's gonna go in and just toss the dude against the wall and just open up the register. It's like you could easily secretly rob a place with your mind powers.
You could steal a purse from across the street and or somebody's
or
wallet.
like go walk into a bank and that was kind of dumb. That was like a. But I mean, they're young, and I do like that they paint them as like very immature, and like they don't like have that kind of thought process going on in their minds. But some of that you have to kind of like be like, okay, I guess so. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing is like I kind of also give this movie a little bit of grace because I do kind of see it as even it's PG-13. I said it doesn't quite feel that. I think this feels like a teen movie done really, really well and a general audience's movie done reasonably well, if that makes sense. Like this feels like the teenage aspect of it or whatever, it comes through, like the fact that this dude is obsessed with talking about how cool he is because he likes Carl Jung and tries to seduce this girl or whatever. Like that all tracks for me.
All
that
been there,
like,
hey boys.
I don't like we teenage boys are ridiculously stupid. So
I'll tell you about Play-Doh girl.
Yeah, allegory of the cave.
Turning you on, right?
This is working for you, correct?
Right, 21-year-old person at a party.
Yeah, I don't know.
So like,
but that as as like the grounding for the stuff that's going on top of it, to me makes it feel like a pretty good teen sci-fi drama. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
it's
meant
not,
for
it's
teens
not
almost.
I was surprised at a PG-13 rating because it does kind of feel like R to me. If it goes pretty hard, honestly. I think I think Andrew gets a little mustache twirly, to be fair, but that moment where he's laying in the hospital bed kind of pretending like he can't hear what his father's saying, and his father like blames him for his mother's death and then demands an apology from him. That shit is pretty hardcore, man. Like that, I think that moment really, really does. Like some heavy lifting and like trying to understand why this kid snaps and like goes, you know, evil,
That actor.
purely evil. You know, the dad.
Yeah, Michael Kelly's his name. Like I first noticed him on House of Cards back when that was still airing.
Oh,
Yeah.
He is so fucking good.
He's such a piece of shit in
Yeah.
that.
Such a good piece of shit. And in this movie, he's a little
good
one
piece
note
of
because he
shit.
is like, he has no redeeming qualities in
little
this
piece
movie
of
at all.
Yeah. Dude, when he
but-
like he's shit hammered at 7:30 in the morning and then just storms in his kid's bedroom and beats his ass. Like it's
Yeah, God
I'm
damn.
looking at his reel is auto playing on IMDb, and apparently he had a bit part as a doctor in Unbreakable of all movies. It looked like.
Okay.
Oh, he's a good little piece of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's great. He was also in Dawn of the Dead. He was the fucking the remake. He was the security guard, but he had the crazy handlebar mustache and shit. He was the dirtbag.
Yeah, he's
great.
one of those guys where he's in like a bunch of things, and you're like, I know I've seen him a lot, but
he's a
I
good
can't
character
really.
actor. Like he's in Man of Steel apparently, but I don't think I saw that. Anyway, I think he's great. I was happy to see him, and he plays an effective piece of shit, if a little bit too one note. I think like I kind of wanted him to feel a little bit of remorse at his son's bedside or whatever, but ultimately he just goes like fully like full dirtbag, full like equivocating motherfucker, drunk asshole, like
Full good
irredeemable
little piece of shit.
Now that's another thing they could have developed even more. I think is the cousin. You know, when Andrew first does the thing where he pushed the people off the road, and then the guy comes in, he's like, hey, you don't understand why you can't like hurt people, like why you can't push this thing off. And
we should
so
put somebody in the hospital.
even if he had done a thing where he's like, oh, you know, I think this would have been better instead of just going in there, like stealing the money straight up, but being like, hey, I need somebody to help me rob this place. Can you do this while I do this? And I'd be like, Andrew, we can't use our powers to rob it. He's like, oh, I need my mom's medicine or something. He's like, oh, well, I'll just pay it for them. But then that makes him feel insecure or makes him, you know, shameful or something like that. Like, no, I have this power so I could take it for myself. I don't need like your charity or something. I feel like there could have been more push and pull between
That would have been
those
interesting.
aspects of more using the powers for morality versus using the powers for like selfish gains.
You could have had the cousin like agree to help him rob the convenience store and then accidentally die in the explosion, and then Andrew feels like extreme guilt from that.
Yeah, and
or
then
something.
Steve is the one who has to, because Steve is like stronger too, which would make more sense if you're going to be flying through buildings, because the cousin's not good at it. Like throughout the whole movie, they show the cousin's not good. So
yeah,
but they do get better. I don't know. Like I think like while I agree that like they could, especially with the cousin, I feel like there need to be a little bit more development. But I do think that that's where like the feeling of a teen drama comes in handy for me, because like to the point of you saying it felt thin earlier, like I kind of felt like to my brain it felt like that was an accessibility thing. You know what I mean? Like you don't go to watch fucking the Lizzie McGuire movie expecting fucking Chinatown, right? Like
yes, I do.
The depth of characters hits a certain level that's understandable to a teenage audience. That's where my brain was at with this, and I know that like that's in spite of the fact that the movie feels like it's right on the edge of becoming something a little bit better than that. You know what I mean? I just think it's like it feels like at the top end of that spectrum rather than in the middle section of a typical movie experience.
You do love a good edging, Randy.
That's
you bring it up every episode, pretty much.
And incel behavior is always on the top of your dome, which is
true.
Look, I know my business, ladies. Okay,
the business of edging incels. We
Jesus Christ.
Any other major points before we rate this thing? Time to land the plane, boys.
Nothing major, no.
All right.
Okay.
Let's do it. Out of 5, Rand Diesel, how do you feel about Chronicle?
Yeah, like I mean, I feel like I was kind of summing up my feelings in general a second ago. I really do like this movie. It feels like a pretty easy to understand story. It's very like straightforward. It does some really solid immersion stuff at the beginning. Its effects were effective for its time, more effective then than now, but still relatively effective. And you know, good performances, all that stuff. I do think that like my adult brain would appreciate more depth, especially out of like the relationship between Matt and his cousin, Matt and Andrew. I feel like even as something as simple as just like having, like you said earlier, having Steve, like that lightning bolt be a product of rage, uncontrolled powers, and him being like, oh no, fuck. And then having Matt come around and be like, did you do this on purpose? Because he knows his cousin has emotional issues of some kind. Or maybe like having that conversation beforehand about like robbing people or whatever, or like, you know, I think something like that could have gone a heck of a long way to radicalizing Matt in the positive direction more effectively. And that's like that, and like this sort of semi-abandoning of the found footage aesthetic are kind of the biggest things that take this movie off the rails for me by the end a little bit. And while I still enjoy myself with it, and it's definitely better than I thought it would be when it originally came out, I had no positive feelings towards it or whatever. I do think it was somewhat ahead of its time, because like it was, instead of like Watchmen, The Boys, all these movies that we brought, Brightburn even, are all about like, what if a superhero was real? And I think there's an element of that here, but this really is about a story of an incel kid, or like a kid that's like having fucking severe bullying both at home and abroad, having like the people in his life not caring about him or otherwise dying or whatever. I think that I don't know, the human story, at least at times, is a lot easier for me to jump into than rather the world building and the like the paths to glory ideas or whatever that happen in those other properties. So I do think it stands out amongst these sort of like, what if superheroes were real category. Okay, that was a little bit rambly. I'm going to go ahead and give it a 3.5. I think it's a pretty good movie, I think, overall. And I don't know, with some minor tweaks, it might have gone up to a 4, even a 4.5 maybe, but it's a 3.5 for me for now.
3.5 from Rand Diesel. Juice, how do you feel?
Yeah, I feel pretty similar. I think that it's hard watching it now, like having seen so much stuff. So I'm gonna kind of do this. I think this is only my second time watching it, so I'm gonna kind of do this balance between the impression it gave to me the first time I watched it versus like this time. But I do like the story and the dynamic between the characters. I do think that's the strongest. Michael B. Jordan is really good, and I just love watching him in anything he does because he's just a fantastic actor. And I like that Steve wasn't like the typical popular guy, the typical bully. Like, you know, he really appreciated Andrew saving his life, and they become closer. And I think this movie ultimately didn't do that justice. I think that they set that up really well, but it didn't pay off fully. I feel like the cousin character is also underdeveloped and could have been given more to do and worked in better. I think the first half of the movie is probably stronger than the second half. And some of the computer effects look janky, but some of them I will give credit for, you know, like hiding it, keeping it far away, and, you know, stuff like that. So it really kind of goes back and forth. It's like a positive and then kind of a negative. But generally, I would say I'm much more positive on this film than I am negative. And remembering like how kind of fresh it was at the time, I think I'm ultimately going to give it a 3.25. So just a scotch lower than Randy. Bob, nice. Out of 5, where are you going to rate this one?
Yeah, I'm generally on the same page as you guys with this. I think it's a really cool idea, a sort of spin on a supervillain origin story here, to have it be in this sort of horror feeling found footage style. I think is a really, really cool idea, kind of sticking some fresh paint on superhero movies, which at the time were not as played out as they are today, but I'd really just kind of like that blend of, you know, subgenres, I guess. Andrew, I think, is, you know, generally understandable. He seems to have, you know, a pretty rough home life. So you get why he might be, a little salty, but I think he does go to like mustache twirly with the like apex predator talk. Like, I just don't think that should have been in the movie at all. It's just kind of silly. And, at the end when he's just, seemingly all of his humanity is gone and he's raining down, giant panes of glass on just completely innocent people around him for no reason at all, just doesn't really jive with the kid that we see in the movie. It's just, he just kind of turns into someone else, I don't even think he tries to like go find where his dad went. I mean, that was the whole thing. Like, he dropped his dad, tried to kill his dad. And like, I don't think he ever even tried to go find him, or he just started murdering innocent people, which is like, well, that doesn't make any sense. So there's like some choices specifically, like I said, during the climax of this movie that I don't particularly care for. It does feel just like the found footage stuff is completely given up on, which is a large reason why I actually dig this movie. So I just miss it when it kind of goes away. The back and forth between the three main characters are great. The sort of bullying in high school, like all that stuff, I think really comes through well. And like seeing Andrew turn his powers against his bullies, like all that makes sense. And I wish they would have just kept it sort of on that level. Him accidentally pushing the car into the lake and like not being quite as remorseful as he ought to be, like all that stuff really I think works quite well. And Michael B. Jordan in this, he's great in everything. I wish he would have stuck around a little longer in the movie. Overall, a pretty cool idea with some really great moments. I think the magic show might actually be my favorite moment. Seeing that crazy glowing thing down in the cave was interesting and cool, and they don't over explain it, which is great. And I think that's really smart. So there's some good ideas here. I think it's mostly successful. I don't necessarily love it. I don't think it's something that I'm going to like Jones to like rewatch over and over again, but definitely more good than bad here on this one. I'll come in with a 3 flat, and that's going to put our aggregate at 3.25 for Chronicle. And whenever you guys pick a movie for us to review via Patreon, we do encourage you to send over a voicemail or an email with your own thoughts and ratings. And Gabriel did send in an email. So let's hear what he's got to say. Juice, you got that pulled up?
He did. Yes. He said, "Straight Chilling Crew, what's up? My U-Pick selection of Chronicle 2012 thoughts here goes. Michael B. Jordan makes this whole movie. The end." Seriously, though, the Steve Montgomery character in this is top-notch. Super nice dude. When he is killed off, the movie loses its momentum fast. It finally then turns the action into gear with sympathetic Andrew becoming the film's villain and finally puts his superhero powers in full evil display. But the movie definitely becomes depressing at that point, in my opinion. But that is what makes this movie well-paced and well-written. I don't really want to get into the special effects, if the special effects still holds up. But I will say all the scenes with the three playing pranks and learning what they could do is very entertaining. Chronicle nailed its different, unique look at the found footage genre and its use of how and why everything is being recorded. Ashley Hinshaw, who plays Casey, is absolutely beautiful in this movie. Okay. If anyone also agrees, watch the movie about Cherry. Hey, now moving on. Now, we didn't even really talk about her. Her character didn't really do anything, right? Like,
no female character in this has a very substantial role.
Yeah.
They're kind of women in the fridge situation, to be perfectly honest.
But then none of them die, though, do they?
The mom does.
The mom. Yeah. Okay. I kind of like not knowing what it was exactly that gives them their powers. Here's a list of other things that I liked. Andrew and Matt being good friends and cousins, because I can relate to that. Hitting each other with baseballs, playing beer pong, throwing the football in the sky, the jump scare underground, Andrew's short-lived popularity. By the way, I thought that girl's hair was red, not pink. Andrew saying he's not recording the cheerleaders, but he really is. Saying he's not recording the guy's girlfriend at the rave party, but he really is. The spider. The song Price Tag that is played in the beginning. Sing It Soju. I don't know this. I don't think I know the song. He wrote the lyrics. It's not about the money, money, money. We don't need your money, money, money. We just want to make the world dance. Forget about the price tag. I don't remember.
You're
that.
a bullshit artist.
Overall, I consider this a fun and really sad sci-fi chiller that isn't too long, really kicks you in the gut when Steve is gone, whom I do believe would have forgiven Andrew if he could actually tell him. Also, too, I want to make a note. I'm not done with the email yet, but at his gravesite, didn't they use a picture of him in The Wire? Did you guys notice that? At Steve's gravesite, they have little pictures of him, and I'm pretty sure one of him is as Wallace.
Oh my God.
I thought that was a little Easter egg. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like him sitting on one of the stoops or something like, and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's a Wallace picture. I could be wrong. But that was just my first thought because it was around the same age he was Wallace in the picture. So that's what made me think of it. I hopefully get Randy to rate one of my picks a 3 or above. Well, you got your wish, guy. The highest rating I have gotten from him was a 2.75 for Paranormal Activity 3. And let's just say my picks for Hollow Man, The Curve, and Fear were not well received. I love the challenge, though, man. Oh, Fear, man. That was such a good one, though.
Are all of those movies are incel movies? I think maybe not Fear. But
Here's a Cooter movie at least.
But they all have like that same kind of vibe. Yeah, toxic masculinity. Yeah, totally. That's true.
Interesting.
They do all do. Yeah. Fear. Oh man, that's like one of my favorite episodes.
Forever.
Dude, for Eva.
For Eva.
I did receive ratings of 3 from both Bob and Justin for Fear 1996. No matter what overall scores I do get for my picks, every movie and episode have been classics. So thank you guys. I give Chronicle 3.75 Lego Apex Predators out of 5. Woo. Okay.
Nice. Thanks.
Yeah,
Gabriel.
good picks though. Yeah, Fear is like one of my all-time favorite episodes. That one was so fucking funny.
I don't regret watching any of those movies because they led to some really funny conversations, if nothing else.
Yeah, good picks.
But I'm glad to have given you your wish of an over 3 rating.
Fear is a rewatcher for sure. That shit's wild.
Oh yeah, you got to save it for Sneaky Autumn though. Remember Sneaky Autumn, so you got to wait a couple more weeks.
Watch it.
Reminded me.
September 21st, whatever.
Yeah, that's about good.
I'm gonna watch it Christmas Day. Yeah. Stop me.
Don't, Randy. Don't you do it.
I'm gonna do it.
Don't.
Watch it with your
coming
dad.
Over.
Ultimate dad porn. Hey dad, I got this movie. You're gonna love it.
You're gonna start regulating your streaming services, Randy.
Your streaming service.
I'm gonna regulate them.
Yeah, thanks for picking this week's flick, Gabriel. We do appreciate your support. What do we got? Let's jump over to our Rotten Tomatoes segment, boys. See what the critics and users think.
Certified.
All right, gents, this is the Rotten Tomatoes segment in which I'm going to have these folks guess within the best of their ability what the aggregate positive score is for Chronicle on RottenTomatoes.com. Starting as we always do with the tomatometer or the critics score, and then moving over to the poopometer or the user's score. Amongst those critics, there is a total of 185 reviews counted, so not a terribly small sample size there. I'm going to start with Soju tonight. Soju, out of those 185 reviews, what percentage would you say are positive critical reviews?
This is tough with the critics, I think. I don't know. Because of like when it came out, like we said, it was kind of more groundbreaking at the time. Not groundbreaking, but just, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take the 69 dudes.
Oh shit! It's been a while. I don't have the bump prepared.
Oh no! Oh no!
Bob, you're gonna have to do the bump for us. Go for it.
69 dudes.
Excellent work. Now, why don't you tell me what your score is gonna be?
I don't know what critics are gonna think about this. I guess I don't know, honestly. I guess I'll take the over. I'll take a 72.
72. Okay. Are you trying to get a tie because you just guessed the wrong number if you did?
No,
okay.
It's just 72. It just feels right.
Interesting. It's not like if you had just done a 71, you could have been. I would have assumed.
No, I don't want it.
No, we don't want to tie.
I don't want it.
We don't want to tie. Well, the correct score is 70 and a half. So you guys are dead on. No, so let's see. Quick math. 72, 69. Yeah. So about 13 percentage points difference between the correct answer and one of you. And that one of you is going to be Bob because the answer is 85% certified fresh.
All right.
It's pretty surprising.
Certified movie, folks.
Wow,
yeah. I mean,
it's a hellscape.
Got some good
It's what it is.
Whoa, Bob. Out of nowhere. Didn't see that coming.
Wow.
Just snuck it in there.
You're throwing your hands in the air.
Whoa, Bob. Hell, Skeet, I totally forgot we do that.
I didn't see it coming.
Yeah, congratulations to you, Bob. All right, and we're going to go to you for the poopometer, the user score. There are 100,000 plus ratings. Why don't you see if you can follow up that win with another here? What percentage would you say are positive of those 100,000 plus?
That's a lot of ratings for the poopometer here. I think it'll be lower than the critics for sure, but like how much lower? You know what, Randy? You know what I'm going to do?
What are you gonna do?
You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna take that 71, that elusive 71 that you wanted me to have so badly. I'm gonna take that.
Ooh, what a slutty move! All right, 71 from Bob. Soju, why don't you come in and let us know where you're going with it?
I'll take a 75. Maybe most of these ratings are more older than I thought, or more. I don't know. Maybe people aren't as worried about the oversaturation as I am. So 75.
75. All right. Well, this math is going to be easy on this one because one of you is just a one goddamn percentage point away from glory here. God. The correct answer, that 72 you guessed last time, Bob. You're going to take it this time, though.
Damn it.
You should have gone with that original feeling, baby.
All Skeet tonight, baby.
Whoa!
That sounds like just a routine.
Wow, hell, Skeet.
I'm so surprised. I almost fell out of my chair. Wow!
Out of nowhere.
Bob,
Never saw it coming.
Never saw the Skeet coming. Just
you do. You know.
It was so early. I just thought, it would come later.
Get your hand off my penis!
So the critics.
That's all. Do you just have that whole clip now, lined up?
Always have, baby.
Succulent Chinese meal.
Yeah. So the critics' consensus reads as follows: Chronicle transcends its found footage gimmick with a smart script, fast-paced direction, and engaging performances from the young cast. I don't think that the gimmick is the most important thing. I guess it was for selling it, the movie in. Maybe.
Yeah, I guess for getting butts in the seats, I think it probably was.
But I mean, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like because they kind of semi-abandon it by the end, it kind of feels pretty loose. So I don't know. It doesn't feel like it's the central gimmick to me.
Real loose. Loose.
The loosest. All right, let's read a couple negative reviews, see if there's any humor or truth to them. I'm going to start expanding this to seeking truth, too. Because we never find comedy in these.
We're seeking truth over here, trying to find it in the Rotten Tomatoes.
Okay, I read Carl Jung, so I'm pretty cool.
Jung.
My boy.
Such clever...
Jung.
What?
Sorry? My boy.
Jung. My boy loves Jungian.
My boy me. Our Chinese correspondent.
My boy me.
My boy.
All right. Here's a negative review. Such cleverness doesn't save the film from predictability and contrivance. It's a triumph of mindlessness over matter. Wow.
Oh
boy.
Dude, that is so hilarious.
That's,
did we find any truth or comedy or both?
I think we found somebody's bottled farts that you can buy online, probably.
I sell those too. That's a big market for that.
There's a huge market for that.
Ate a huge bowl of Tech Pookie, and now I'm just ripping them into these bottles and mailing them
them
off.
Tech Pookie farts. You got to put a signature 1 of 12 on that
They're
jar.
spicy. 1 of 12. Oh no, that's a low. Those are rookie numbers. You got to bump those numbers up.
That's very true. All right, here's one more negative review, and then we'll move on. This film's fanboy ejaculate loves you short time as it spews the buildup of what could be interpreted as a story, in quotations, and ultimately ends without one.
Damn.
Man. I take back everything I said about the fart sniffiness of that first comment, because Jesus Christ, this person is absolutely self-filleting. It's crazy.
Damn.
Never saw the skeet coming.
I think he's seeking the skeet with all of his contortionist
Skeet seekers.
We're the skeet seekers. One mission and one mission only.
No.
We're seeking skeet, not truth.
All right. Yeah, that's it. Fuck the Rotten Tomatoes.
What's wrong with us,
Bob? How's them trivias look?
I'm fine.
Yeah, we got some trivia. Let's do it.
Skeet seekers. Ho!
It's totally time for trivia.
We're gonna change the name
I'm
of
a
the podcast.
completely normal, humble person. You know?
I know you're humble because you tell me all the time.
I know. That's how you know.
That's how you know it.
How else would you know?
You wouldn't know. You it's impossible. Some trivia.
No.
Trivia here.
Gotta tell you.
Director Josh Trank made your boy Dane DeHaan, Michael B. Jordan, and Alex Russell live in a house together for 15 days in order to create a genuine bond between the three of the actors. I think that paid off. I think you feel that.
Yeah, I think so too.
Sure. I'm actually like, I would have thought longer. They do feel natural together for sure. For sure.
Some natural boys together.
Just some real natural boys.
Living together, you know,
Just
roughing around.
seeking some skeet. What are you gonna do?
We're the skeet singers living together. It's harmony, baby.
Just
They're
natural.
trying to keep me out of that group.
All right, skeet seekers, focus up. We got more to get through.
Didn't
here.
you always want a sex cult? Well, now's your chance. The original story would have had the trio becoming psychopaths because of their powers, but it was soon changed as it was too dark and also would not really make sense to the plot.
Wait, the powers were what now? I'm sorry.
They were all
Understand
three
what
going to
you
be psychopaths, I guess, instead of just one.
Oh. Yeah, I'm glad that they didn't do that. Like, the push and pull is so important to making this movie work, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah, really had kind of like, or like maybe could have been more good, bad, neutral, if anything. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Leaned on that even further.
Your boy, Josh Trank, at the age of 27, was the youngest person to direct a film that opened at #1 at the box office. The previous record holder was your boy Steven Spielberg, who was 28 when Jaws came out.
Whoa, that's...
I was thinking about this guy because after this, he did that Fantastic Four movie, which was garbage. And then I was like, man, did that dude just drop off the map? I think he had one more movie.
He hasn't done much
do well. Yeah, so I was like feeling a little bad, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know. I didn't see that Fantastic Four movie, so maybe I would feel different if I saw it. But he did come out with a movie about Al Capone in 2020, and that's really
with Tom Hardy, right?
Yeah, and I think I read somewhere that he's going to be doing some show with Tom Hardy, but I don't remember what the premise was or whatever.
Michael B. Jordan was also in that Fantastic Four movie, and so is Miles Teller. So he's like worked with big names. I know he had a lot of problems with the studio at that Fantastic Four movie, but I also heard he might be difficult, but that could be from a studio perspective. So I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if he was just really young and inexperienced and then got into like too big of a situation for himself.
I'm not sure either, but I feel like, I don't know. I'm basing this off of like the reputation of 3 movies. I feel like I would watch another one from him. I think this movie earns him another go, personally.
Well, let's call him up and see what he's doing right now.
Josh,
hey, I got a script to sell you.
It's called Skeet Seekers.
Pretty much explains itself.
You know what to do.
We're gonna do it the old-fashioned way and start with a title and a poster, which is X-rated, of course. And now you work back from that.
My boy Randy, he's a real good designer. I'm sure he'll whip something up real quick.
I'm gonna come up with the best thing for the Skeet Seekers poster. Don't you worry.
Drop everything.
We weren't worried.
This is your number one priority.
They were just innocent men.
They were just normal.
Skeet Seekers.
Innocent men.
One of them was very humble, normal.
That's on the soundtrack for show.
His name was Humble Stains.
If we ever make a movie, that's going on the soundtrack. No matter what film it is, that's going. The boys are here.
If we made a movie,
Schindler's List 2,
it would be out of control. It would be the weirdest fucking thing.
it would be unwatchable. I can assure you of that much.
I got a couple more here. After this movie grossed 10 times its budget, your boy Trank found himself in high demand by a lot of studios. He was attached to a number of projects, such as Sony's Venom. There's a Star Wars spinoff featuring Boba Fett, an adaptation of Shadow of the Colossus, that video game, film based on Image comic book Red
Glad
Star.
that never happened.
And, of course, the reboot of the Fantastic Four. He directed that, came out 2015. Critical and commercial failure, which nearly ended his career.
It was fun.
This will be the last one. We kind of mentioned this towards the beginning of the show, but in 2019, after Max Landis, the writer of this movie, was accused of sexual and emotional abuse by multiple women, Josh Trank tweeted, quote, "I 100% believe every word of this article." I guess there was some article that came out about him, about Max.
Yeah.
And then he says, "I banned him from visiting principal photography of Chronicle, and I haven't spoken to him since 2012. So
I have morals. I'm a good person. I have limits.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Wait, I don't. So, what was his involvement in Chronicle in the first place? If he banned them from principal
He was a writer.
photography, a writer. Okay,
He wrote
okay.
the writer. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I gotcha.
Apparently, he's a huge piece of shit. I read like some.
He looks like a huge piece of shit. I don't really know anything. Y'all were like knew his name
Them
right off
Landis
the bat,
boys
and
are
I was like,
wild.
I don't know.
Yeah,
who this guy is.
he's
He looks
he's
like a Cooter.
John Landis'
Go ahead,
son. So they're, John Landis is an extremely famous and successful director who was,
he did
his own problems.
he did
American Werewolf in London.
Twilight Zone,
Twilight
the
Zone
movie. There was a couple people that died on set, and basically everybody confirmed it was because Landis insisted they make really like unsafe decisions. And they were like beheaded by a helicopter. Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was gruesome. It was pretty fucked up.
He wasn't held accountable in any way.
I don't think
I don't
so.
know
Not,
all
not
the
at
details.
Court of public opinion, yes, more recently.
I don't think
but
he
I
went
don't
to
think that
jail.
people-
Not that I know of.
No, I don't. Nothing like that, as far as I'm aware.
God damn, dude.
So yeah, the Landis family's sort of got some skeletons in the closet, I guess. But yeah, I read some quotes from Max Landis, and I mean, he just admits to doing some seemingly pretty fucked up shit to women. So I don't even. He just says it. So I don't know that there's much to
I've always been a creeper.
Really?
Yeah.
So there
All
you
right,
go.
well, he doesn't tell everyone he's humble, I guess, huh?
No, they would think he was.
That's how you know
if he
he's
just
not.
said it. That's how you know, because he doesn't say it all the time. So there you go. That's it. We'll end trivia there on a really, really high note. And just calmly and coolly roll right into Cooter of the Week. Let's do it.
Straight chillin'. Cooter of the Week.
Juice. Cooters. Why are they incels? Tell us all about it.
Oh boy. Well, Cooter's character type, Bob, and a straight chillin' exclusive.
Oh.
Cooter has I know. Well,
Someday it's
humble
going to
of
become an
us.
exclusive, though.
Bob, you almost fell out of your chair there. Whoa. Cooter has to 3 of these 5 points to be considered a Cooter. We want the Cooter with the most points. 5 points of Cooterdom are sexual deviance, manipulation, smug arrogance, overall look and attire, and overall patheticness. Boys, I think we have maybe a couple Cooters in this movie.
Yeah,
I suppose so.
And outside the movie too. So.
And outside apparently adjacent. The dad, maybe we want to start with the dad.
Sure. I mean, yeah.
That's pathetic. Quite pathetic.
Quite pathetic. Yeah.
Smug arrogance.
A little bit of arrogance,
like
but
demanding
an
apology from his son, and that's
just irrational. Like,
and he's like, "What? Who's picking you up? Like, what? This is an adult kid?" Or he's like, "It's like a senior."
Yeah, I watched some of your footage. If you watched some of that footage, you would be pooping in your pants, sir. I don't.
Oh yeah, he's like manipulation too, where he's like, "You're gonna keep this camera while your mom suffers."
Yeah, and he doesn't seem to be doing anything to bring money into the house. Yeah, he is. I mean, he like punches his son in the face.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like, I don't think any of that's coming from a place of like trying to manipulate him. I think it's just trying to hurt him because he's a fucking abusive piece of shit.
Well, I don't know too though. Like, it's kind of manipulation to like get him to be like, not, I don't like when he's like, "Oh, your mom, I wasn't there because of you. You owe me an apology." Yeah. Like he's using these things to manipulate his emotions to put him like underneath himself. Right?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. I mean, I just think that it's like he's just poorly dealing with his own fucking problems, which is that he's a drunk, and like his son, who is a teenager, has his own life for the first time ever. And he doesn't really know what that entails. He just knows that he's left holding the bag and he resents his son for that. And ultimately, like, he's lashing out.
Oh, and the manipulation too, when he's like, "They're not your real friends." Like, that's manipulation, I think.
That is manipulation. Yeah, I'll give you that one. Yeah, okay.
So patheticness, smug arrogance, manipulation. So we got him. No sexual deviancy, and looking attire.
Looking fine.
Like a regular
like a dad,
dude, right?
Just just rocking the dad look.
Yeah. How about Andrew?
I mean, yeah,
big
patheticness certainly.
Yeah,
pathetic.
Certainly high on the charts of pathetic.
He's a virgin.
The apex predator stuff. Oh, shit. He ain't never seen a yabo, you know?
What a loser!
What a fucking loser. Yeah, no, he's pathetic as shit because like the apex predator shit or whatever, it's like the worst, most vicious coping mechanism in the world for being downtrodden in any way.
Well, that goes to the smug arrogance too, right?
Absolutely,
I'm an apex predator. It's like, okay, buddy, all right.
It's that thing like you get a modicum of power and you just like live in it. That's the only place you want to spend your time, your brain power, your anything.
No, I've had so much power for so long and I never abuse it. Just a humble person like that.
That's true. Man, so humble.
You sound like a pretty humble guy.
Yeah, I kind of am. Thanks for noticing.
Yeah,
you're a bullshit artist.
So
what else?
Manipulation.
Okay, manipulation. Let's go with manipulation.
Manipulation.
I don't know. I think that he's self-manipulating. It's delusional what he's saying about like apex predator or whatever, all that shit, like tearing apart bugs or whatever. It's all just like a way of justifying his desire to push his resentment towards others that have harmed him outwards into the world, wherever it may land. Like, that's just common dipshit stuff. That's joke.
I'm the Joker, baby.
Damn, dude.
So yeah, I think he hits. Definitely smug arrogance, definitely patheticness, sexual deviancy, not really, except they do blow some girls' skirts up. I don't remember who that was specifically. I don't remember who. That was the only moment where they were kind of using their powers in that way, I think. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I don't remember who specifically did that, though. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think that was Steve, actually. It might have been Steve.
Just what a scamp. Oh, my boy Steve.
Can't stay mad at Wallace. Can't stay mad.
Is there anybody else that we would consider?
On screen?
Yeah, I don't
Probably
think in
not.
the movie, but I think Andrew and his dad are both solidly Cooters. Max Landis
Cooter
alone.
family there.
Cooter is family.
Cooter family in Hollywood too. The Landis family. That's
There's this one picture. Hang on, let me look. He had some crazy hair when I first looked him up. What was it?
Who?
I was like,
Landis?
what the fuck? Yeah, Landis. Oh, his
Oh
looking
yeah, he had kind of like
too.
the Nazi youth haircut for a while. I
Oh
think.
god, and it's like, and his clothes choices are terrible. Looking attire number one for me. Holy Jesus!
What are you, a goddamn Nazi or something?
Dude looks like a straight Cooter. God damn. And then I don't know anything else about him, so you boys take it away.
Well, the sexual deviancy, I think, is
okay.
a lot.
Got him. Yeah.
Yeah, and manipulation for sure. By the
I guess that's part of it.
Yeah.
Looks like a smug little piece of shit. I'm not gonna lie. And
Arrogance
if his dad is, nepotism.
Yeah, he's a nepo
going
baby as
on,
well,
yeah.
and
we got him.
I mean that. Yeah, I think we got him,
dude.
I think we. That could have been a drive-by.
Sounds like he did
conviction.
a sweep.
Dude,
you looking at the pictures?
Yeah, his clothes are.
They're terrible.
What the fuck?
I never understand people who have money who just dress so terribly.
And he's the like 3/4 comb over hairdo.
Dude, and there's so many terrible outfits. If you just do a quick scroll, like almost every single one of them, there's like 10 terrible, wretched outfits. I just don't understand how you could dress so badly. Ugh.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
I know. It's bad. It's really bad. So we got him.
Okay, I gotta stop.
Did I just hear a screenshot sound?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I don't want that shit on my phone. I don't want that shit on my phone.
I'm gonna refer to this later.
I gotta save that one for the bank. No.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. All right. Yeah. Max Landis, certified Cooter. Lock him up.
We got him.
Mm-hmm.
We got him. We can do a quick little what we've been watching this week, boys.
Hey gang, what you been watching?
Rand Diesel, what you been watching?
Yeah, so not a whole lot of change from last time. DK Bonanza is still very fun. It's very, very good and addictive. Poker Face, continuing down that train. I really like Natasha Lyonne in these roles, and there's a fuck ton of special guests celebrity guest spots in that. And it's just fun, light fare. I enjoy it. Watched Final Destination, the original with Beck for the who had not seen it last night or whatever, and they were like, I didn't know what Final Destination was, but I definitely did not think it was this. So I think they were taken by surprise by the very concept of it.
Huh.
Been rewatching some of this most recent season of Taskmaster on YouTube because I enjoy it so much. Very, very light stuff. And easy to throw on in the background too. And then last, I went down to the theater and watched Together, that Alison Brie, Dave Franco film. Thoughts on that maybe to come. I'm still gathering my thoughts on that one, but yeah, that's it for me. Soju, how about you?
Honestly, I haven't really been watching anything new. Wrapped up Penny Dreadful season 1, and watching that Korean dating show with all the virgins. So
sounds normal.
They're
seeking that skeet, eh?
I guess so. Bob,
Skeet Seekers.
Yeah,
new hit
Bob,
show.
What you been watching?
And get jiggy with it.
Couple things. I watched the new Wes Anderson joint, The Phoenician Scheme, and Benicio del Toro is kind of like the lead in that one. He obviously has like a whole host of actors in this movie, like he does in all of his movies. But generally, I really enjoyed it. The last couple Wes Anderson movies were kind of mid for me. I didn't particularly love the last couple, but this one really was a hitter. I
didn't even know he made a new movie. What's it called?
The Phoenician Scheme. And it's about a really wealthy dude played by Benicio del Toro, and he has
It's widely available.
Yeah, I've got it on 4K, and you can rent it and stream it and stuff. It did get a theatrical release. I missed it in theaters though. But yeah, this dude has this scheme that he's put together to try and make just an abundance of wealth. He's already very rich, but kind of a conniving dude. And he brings his daughter along with him to like be his sort of second in command, and she is about to be a nun, so she's trying to like balance his sort of twisted nature. And they go to all these different places and try and make deals with all these people, and it's just like really interesting. I think we've talked about it before on this show, but like, how amazing would it be if Wes Anderson actually made just a straight up like gothic style horror movie in like a giant castle with like a family or something, And there's like towards the end of this movie, there's like a couple sequences where people are like fighting, and he like does really interesting things with the lighting and the camera and stuff. And I was like, yes, just do this for like a whole movie. It's like he's kind of got.
I feel like he could.
Yeah.
What if he did it and like animated like Fantastic Mr. Fox or whatever, but like inspired by like an Edward Gorey illustration
that would be sick
sort of thing.
too.
That would be so fucking amazing. Because like that's like flat, like I don't know. Tough to describe what I'm saying.
I selfishly would prefer just the straight up Wes Anderson live action.
I don't know
style,
how spooky he can make it out. Like I can make spooky, yes, but like scary, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how
his style lends itself to that.
I think he
but
could.
It's spooky, like an Addams Family movie. Spooky, you know what I mean?
Yeah, probably most likely would be something like that. But he does the way he directs his actors is interesting because there's like they're so deadpan, and they speak very quickly and monotone most of the time, and it's very deadpan, very flat. But then when one of them does get like angry here or there, and like the emotion really ramps up, it hits even that much more because it's like it feels like it's totally out of nowhere, and like the tone of the movie just sort of shifts, and it can become very dark very quickly, but then he usually shifts it back like a moment later. It doesn't linger too long. And I don't know, I think he's got it in him. I don't know if he would want to do that, but it just had me thinking about it. Finishing Scheme, solid. Definitely recommend checking it out. Threw on A Knight's Tale, that Heath Ledger movie from like the early 2000s, sort of like a rom-com where he is a knight trying to make his way up the ranks basically. And solid, like rom-com, honestly. It's just
a
like
cute little movie.
Kind of a feel-good movie. Yeah, definitely. Good shit.
I ain't never seen that one.
Recommend checking it out for sure. And then, lastly, I also made it out to the theater to watch Together, and body horror is alive and well, man. There's a lot of good stuff that's been coming out over this past couple years that's very solidly in the body horror realm. Together is definitely one of those. Overall, I enjoyed it. But yeah, we might have a mini cast coming down the pike here before.
Get your hand off my penis!
Get your hand off Dave Franco's penis, you skeet seeker. And that's all I've been watching. We do have one voicemail, so let's go ahead and jump over to our Hotline Screams.
Hotline Scream.
If you guys are listening and would like to call and leave a voicemail to be featured on next week's show, you can hit us up at 904-638-3231. We got one voicemail. We're hearing from the librarian. Let's hear what she's got to say.
Hey, boys. It's the librarian. I just clocked out of work, and I have a very pressing question on my soul. What do you guys think about Labubu's? That was it. I just wanted to know what you guys think about the little creatures. If you even know what they are. Maybe I'm just on the wrong corner of the internet. Or the right one. Anyway. Bye!
All right, pause 30 seconds for us to all look up what that is.
I know. So I found out about this a couple months ago when I went to Japan. They're these like creepy little dolls. They're just like
they look like Where the Wild Things Are. The kids have the little
like a little trendy. I don't know about their place on the internet or in social circles or whatever.
People collect them. Yeah.
I mean, people just want to collect things, right, Bob? I know you're a collector, Bob. What do you feel about
whatever do you mean?
A boo-boo. You're a bit of a collector.
Where did Bob go wrong? Were he and his friends sifting way too long through those blue
La-boo-boo.
bins? And it gets worse.
They call me La-boo-boo Bob.
Wasting all his dough on those deals.
La-boo-boos. On the boo-boos.
I think it's one of those things that in 6 months won't matter at all.
It's like a Funko Pop thing. Yeah, people will buy them and then they'll.
But there's not really a lot of variation to them. They're just kind of different.
Is it one of those things where it's like a mystery pack thing though, or whatever? Because that
maybe could be.
Those things concern me. Like
I don't have that much.
There's like an element of gambling that
for
has,
kids. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That bums me out a little bit about that.
Those things are huge in Japan. Actually, they're getting pretty big in Korea too.
In that with Pokemon cards and stuff, I guess, to some degree.
Yeah,
so.
true.
You gotta catch them all.
Whatever.
You gotta.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really have any strong feelings about them except that, like, enjoy something to a moderate amount. Stop.
Put all your money into
about things, except for straight.
Be obsessive about
obsess over
coin,
us,
please.
Obsess over me.
QJ coin needs to be obsessed over.
By the way, I sell those canned farts, online. So if you want to get those,
you gotta collect all the
gotta collect them all
the brews.
Gotta get the wet.
I have them labeled by what I've been eating recently. So
there's a Halloween collection coming out.
Yeah, Halloween.
Oh man, the candy corn farts are gonna be wretched.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They're so sweet. They're just.
Oh yeah.
It's like honey in your nose.
It's like butter.
Like butter.
Something like that.
Just yes.
Yeah.
Did you guys? There's some sort of news article about some guy in LA going around sniffing people's butts in public.
Oh, you don't do
just
that?
going around and like kneeling down and taking big whiffs of people's butts.
Typical American behavior.
What
get
the
some
fuck?
attention.
Randy over here just shaming normal folks on the street.
Normal, red-blooded fart sniffing
just trying
Americans.
to sniff an ass. Sorry, Randy.
Wow.
Is that illegal?
We're just normal men.
What's the distance you got to be for it to be?
Is illegal.
But if there's a distance,
it's just
is the distance an inch from somebody's fucking asshole?
They're doing them a favor to make sure they're clean. They're like, hey, you might need an extra wipe or two.
We're gonna have to take this to Cooter Court next episode.
Public service.
Public service.
Hey, guy, you got shit in your ass.
God damn. Fucking Truth Social America.
I don't know if
Here
you
we
knew.
are.
You got some shit in your ass.
I wonder who put it there. You should really be more careful.
I can
this shit
I can
in
fish
my
it out if you
ass?
want me to.
Is this Randy's shit in my ass?
Christ. We got Bob.
It smells like
As
candy
long as
corn.
it's not in my short.
You better get it all the
Shat
way
in
in
my
the
pants.
ass. I don't need my
As long as it stays.
We're all
in
looking for the
ass.
guy who shat in my ass.
Stop, everyone. Lock the doors. We're all staying here until we find
Everyone's
out
a
who
suspect.
shat in my ass.
It's like Clue. I've seen this movie.
Oh yeah.
Oh God.
God
Oh
damn.
my god.
Well,
Damn, man. Kate, something's peeking.
Thanks for calling, librarian. That went off the fucking rails.
Yeah, it did.
Laboo-boo.
I don't know what happened. I blacked out. Call in 904-638-3231. You guys have any prompts you want to throw out for next week's show?
Yeah, actually, based on what I think next week's movie is I wanted some fun road trip stories. What's like your best road trip story?
I don't know. If
We're
that's
doing
anything No,
We're doing Joyride next week, right?
Weapon.
No.
Oh, god damn it. What's on the schedule?
Weapons is
It
on
says
the schedule.
It says Joyride.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh. No. Okay, never mind. I guess I looked at the wrong date.
I was gonna say.
Are we not doing Joyride? Never mind.
Much later.
Save that.
Not
couple weeks.
yet. Not yet.
Hey guys, do we have any prompts? The next film.
Weapons. We're talking about weapons.
Actually, I don't know anything about weapons.
New release coming out in theaters next week. It's the same director
Kreger.
that did Barbarian. Yeah, Zach Kreger. So, yeah, there's a couple of trailers out there. I've been trying to avoid them. I've only seen the first one, so...
I haven't seen any of them, so I don't
They
know
did.
anything
Zach
about it.
Kreger did like the everybody shut off your phone bit at the beginning of Alamo's screening of Together
Good.
today.
Yeah, I don't want that shit
And it was
spoiled.
pretty funny. He was like, I'm part of a rich tradition of sketch comedians that became horror directors, like Jordan Peele. And then he's like, and John Carpenter was in he made up a bunch of shit. It was really funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I don't know. Call in about... what are you doing?
What's your favorite weapon?
What do you
with
what do you
your
wear?
life? Like, you know,
Call in with your social security number. We'll keep it safe.
What's the craziest thing you collect?
Yeah,
Talking about your collections.
Yeah, what do you collect? Little boo-boos or
Toenails?
otherwise. Yeah. Oh
A
my
collection
God.
of weapons.
Toenails.
Toenails.
Jesus. Fuck.
Scalps.
Tell us about your crazy collections.
You collect soiled shorts. What do you collect? Call in 904.
Rob, why you gotta go there?
904-638-3231. Tell us about your collections. We'll help.
Excuse me, Mr. Man.
Yeah, excuse me. That's it. Check out Weapons next week. Get ready for the show. We are all over the social medias. Just search Straight Chilling Podcast. We'll pop right up. If you want to join in the daily Slack channel conversations, let us know on one of those social media outlets, and I'll send you a link so you can join in on the fun. We had a couple new people join up, actually.
Yeah, we did.
Pretty recently. So very, very nice. Welcome to the community. Hope you guys are enjoying it.
Slack's still going strong, though.
It is.
Sure
It's
is.
been popping off today, actually. People are talking about all kinds of stuff.
Orgy.
Primarily orgies.
That came up.
That is not a joke. It did. So, yeah, check out Weapons. Get ready for next week's show. Until then, all you mother truckers, please keep chilling.
The hunk of chunker.